September 2019, and led a debate on a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of Federal College of Education, Kana, Nasarawa State, and the House deliberated on it, on its general principles, and referred same to this committee, hence this public hearing. It is worthy to note that education is a crucial sector in any nation, and it is a fundamental responsibility of the government under the Chapter 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, to provide adequate educational opportunities at all levels to every citizen. Being a major investment in human capital development, education plays a critical role in long-term productivity and growth at both micro and macro levels. It goes a long way to say that without education, a nation cannot get the needed manpower for material advancement and enlightenment of the citizens. In Awaido Kiana Federal Constituency, it has, however, become pertinent to establish the Federal College of Education, Kiana, to address the current imbalance in the establishment of federal colleges of education in the state, and to bridge the gap of non-existent tertiary institution in federal constituency. This will go a long way in creating favorable atmosphere for educational development, a long way in creating for educational development in constituency and some neighboring states. Despite the dense and growing population of the constituency and apparently having more educational potentials, the federal constituency has no single tertiary institution, and Nasarawa State has no established Federal College of Education. The constituents are in dire need of a tertiary institution to fill the huge literacy gap and address the concern of those whose future bleak by establishing a tertiary institution that guarantees continuity of youth education in the constituency. Mr. Chairman, my highly respected colleagues, I would like to urge this committee to consider the establishment of this institution while the leader of the delegation will present his report. Thank you.
Leadership of the House and members of this House in general, and the chairman and members of this very honorable committee, for the privilege of presence and the positive and speedy consideration of the bill presented by the honorable member representing our federal constituency, Honorable Abubakar Hassan Nalaraba, my younger brother. We acknowledge the sterling performance of the Ninth Assembly evidenced by the numerous bills and resolutions passed that have direct bearing with public welfare. In particular, we appreciate that out of so many bills before this committee and the House, you have listed the bill for the establishment of a Federal College of Education in Kiana today. And we want to especially thank Honorable Limelu for what you have said about today's sitting. We thank you very much, my dear brother. Mr. Speaker, please convey, Mr. Chairman, sir, convey to Mr. Speaker, principal officers and honorary members of the House, the assurances of our support and prayers. We are very, very proud of this 9th National Assembly. Kiana, the headquarters of Kiana local government in present-day Nasarawa State, is a historic salt mining and trading community that flourished since the 15th century. Various accounts of history indicate affinity and friendship with its neighbors, kith and kin in Arochukwu, Nsuka, Ere in the southeast, Yala in Cross River State, and part of the northeast, especially with the Jukuns of Borno, Yobe, Gombe, and Taraba states. This is in addition to its very firm roots in the north-central zone, particularly in Plateau South, in Benue South, and in Kogi East and Kogi West senatorial districts. Kiana in Awe Doma and Kiana Federal Constituency of Nasarawa State has a land area of approximately 1,550 kilometers and is located at the far end of Nasarawa State. It shares common boundary with Benue State and is bound by Awe, Doma, and Obi local government areas.
Of the establishment of a Federal College of Education, Kiana. Our stand is predicated on the need for every state to have a Federal College of Education in tandem with Federal Character Principle. Presently, Nasarawa State does not have a Federal College of Education. Thus, we support the establishment of one in the state. Now, from the bill, for an act to establish Federal College of Education in Kiana, Nasarawa State, to provide full-time courses in teaching, instruction, and training in technology, applied sciences, etc., etc. It's our opinion or suggestion that the proposed institution should be a technical one. Thus, we advise that the name should read Federal College of Education, Technical, Kiana, Nasarawa. Going by the format of the bill, it will be better to conform with the provisions of the 1986 Federal College of Education Act, where presently, with the recent 6 new colleges in the various geopolitical zones, we now have 27 Federal Colleges of Education, which has a law encompassing all of them. So we are pleading that the schedule of the list of the Federal Colleges of Education should be one, in tandem with, whereas all the laws should just be the same thing, with minor variations, which one is conventional and which one is technical. Based on the above, the schedule list of all federal education in the Act be amended to increase the number of additional federal colleges of education the National Assembly may resolve to create. Thank you, sir.
In Kiana, in Nasarawa State, as sponsored by our member. And Mr. Chairman, permit me to briefly introduce some of the people that are here with me. Sir, I have our elder brother, Mr. Jonah Obole, a retired secretary of the government and a former chairman of the Federal Civil Service Commission. Please stand up. Former member of the Federal Civil Service Commission. Sir, we have Dr. Yusuf Abdullahi Oguzebe, the one in Kiana. We have Professor Otaki Alanana, is a member of the State Executive Council. Honorable Musa Elai Abdullahi, a former member of the House of Reps, 1999, a former Honorable Minister of State for Justice, and many others. Nasarawa State, as you all know, is one of the states in the country, and it's the only state in the country that I know that does not have a Federal College of Education, whether technical or otherwise. So it is just fair and equitable that the state also gets a Federal College of Education. Now, with reference to Kiana in particular, the history of Western education in the entire Nasarawa State started in Kiana in 1916, when the first primary school was established. And so when you go by historical antecedents, it will be a good legacy for the federal government to recognize this feat and put a Federal College of Education there. For the local environment, there is a very big secretariat, local government secretariat that has over 120 offices, in addition to so many committee rooms that can serve as classrooms. There is also the staff quarters. The land is fertile, the land is vast, the land is serene, and the community is ready to give 100,000 hectares of land free of charge without compensation. It's bounded by Benue State, so it means that you can have students from Nasarawa and Benue in the school. So the entire federal constituency of Kiana, Kiana Wedoma has no tertiary institution. So therefore, we believe that it's a worthy request. And this is not the first time that we are making the request. A similar request was made to the executive in 2015. And since then, the community has been ready, and we are ready to donate as many public and private buildings as possible. So the takeoff of the institution is not a problem at all. The road to the place is tarred. The place is connected to the national grid. The road enjoys good water, and there is food and good land for people that are ready to go into agriculture. And then there is also the discovery of hydrocarbon now. So it's a place that if you put an institution like this, the issue of revenue and other things will not be a big problem.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And we want to thank all the people that supported us. There was nobody that opposed us. And we want to thank you, members of the press.